guys here this weekend is awesome. I'm not worried about what they're doing, and I can focus on what I'm doing. That's helped me out a lot. I've been able to go through the last couple of days with a pretty clear mind.
Adaptability was mine. I mean, you never know what's going to happen until shit happens, right? Jason called out tourniquet on a few guys, and some of it went to shit, and some of it went great. We learned to adapt, keep laying down fire, keep our head on a swivel, and keep moving. And to be able to train at a facility that allows us to do that brings that realism that you can't get anywhere else.
We realized real quick, situations become very fluid, very fast. So you just got to go with the flow and do with whatever's dealt the hand you're dealt at that point in time.
Big team building, lots of confidence within that team that you can accomplish a task that seems pretty damn difficult.
One thing we did today, we did that break and cover drill. Mm-hmm. That really, I thought, tied together sort of the concept of team and then that, real world, because, you're waiting for your partner to go back there, and you're having to wait for that signal, shots being fired, to know when to break. And you think about that, from a training perspective to a real world perspective, those seconds start to feel like minutes and hours when you don't hear your partner and you're like, okay, what's going on? And finally you hear that those shots fired or that signal, and then you go. But you put that in perspective of, like, in a real world situation, it's like there's a lot of trust that has to happen there, because you're trusting that person's got your back, that they're back there.
It's a good solid feeling when you don't have to worry about, is that person going to cover my back? I know he's going to cover my back. I don't have to say a word, but that takes a long time. So you're getting to experience a little bit of that out here, and hopefully we'll get to do a lot more of it. So, but we tell people, try to keep your training as realistic as possible. There is limitations where you can train. Indoor ranges are all next to impossible to do any type of realistic training, but it does keep up your basic marksmanship skills, which are important. All right, when all else fails, line precise, press the trigger correctly, and you'll hit what you're aiming. But you have to push that limit a little bit. Just what we talked about, shooting real tight groups. Real tight groups are good. That's good for accuracy, and you all proved that there today. You could shoot really tight groups with the rifle or the handgun. That's not a problem. Okay, but now putting rounds on target quickly and expanding that group a little bit, but still being accurate enough, to do damage to a threat. You see how important that is, and not taking a second or 2 seconds to make that perfect shot when I can make it in a quarter of a second and still be probably acceptable, as far as getting rounds on target.